What's up, guys? Graylan here again with another video. This is my vlog day, work Wednesday. It is super early and everybody's asleep, so I'm down here in my basement in the movie room, just hanging out, sitting at my table, enjoying a little quiet time and replying to some Facebook messages. I get hit up a lot by complete strangers, obviously, because I'm on YouTube. But obviously some of my friends or real old friends, kind of see some things that I'm doing and have questions occasionally as well. So just hanging out today down here for a little bit before my day starts, but don't got a whole lot going on. But I hired a new girl to do lead follow-up for me, and that's probably been, I don't know, a month ago, maybe a little more. But initially I hired her to do lead follow-up for acquisitions, to call on all of my older leads, the ones that aren't hot, that just weren't ready yet, or decided they weren't interested suddenly after they got into our CRM. Once you get into our CRM, you were interested at some point, or you wouldn't be there in most cases. Anyways, so she does follow up with that. But now it's almost like she's molding into follow-up specialist for my entire business, not just acquisitions, but also she's been doing for my rental properties, because we've got a few vacancies. So she's been trying to fill those for me. And we've been building out the rental workspace in my Podio a little bit more since I've hired her, and since she kind of took that on. And she's doing awesome. I mean, I was up the other day till like 4 a.m., just working, doing stuff, whatever. And I was like doing things in Podio at 2 a.m. and I saw that she was on there too. And then she actually emailed me because she noticed that I was on, because your light is green. And so it's kind of cool that she was still, working. That's what I like, people that are willing to do, go above and beyond. Not everybody's like that. Trust me, most people are not like that. Just doing that. And I never asked her to. I told her, pretty much like a 9 to 5, for what she's doing. But yeah, so she's doing follow up for some of our Podio leads acquisition wise. And then when she brings them hot again, she passes it on to acquisitions. But also she's doing follow up with all my rental leads, because we do Facebook marketing and different things like that to bring in rental leads, and of course Zillow, stuff like that. So she's handling all that, and she's going to place those people for me. So that's really awesome. And I do rent to own, so it's a little bit different, but she's an ex-property manager for an apartment, so she knows what she's doing, which is awesome. But also I'm going to have her start doing follow-up for my dispositions and doing some calling, because we use investor lift, so calling God mode buyers or sending out text blasts, because the disposition position is hard in my business because we have a lot of deals typically, and it's been a slow quarter. The first quarter was really slow. We still did good, but not as good as we needed to or should. But we typically have only had like 10 or 11 in escrow over these last few months, which is rare. We usually have at least like 15 to 17 deals in escrow at all times, just from deals coming in, deals falling off, deals closing, all that kind of stuff. There's usually about 15 to 17 usually at all times in escrow. And lately, I think there's only 9 to 11, somewhere in that ballpark, around 10 right now. I haven't looked in the last several days, but I think there's about 10 or so right now. So it's been a slow quarter. Hopefully this second quarter, is going to be big. That's what we're hoping, because I've got my new TV ads have started. Our new cold calling campaigns start Friday with this new company that we're using now. They do cold calling on a whole new level, way better than any traditional cold calling company or VAs could ever do. And I know that with confidence just because of the conversations I've had, the onboarding process that they did with our team, and I have friends that use them and kill it. So I know that's going to be really good. So those big time campaigns starting for TV and cold calling are going to be huge, because even if we can just get 2 or 3 deals a month out of each one of those, that's an extra, 5 deals a month just from those 2 campaigns, 2 marketing channels. So that'll be awesome. Hopefully that'll get us on the right path for 2022, because this is definitely going to be our biggest year. Even though it's been a slow start, we're going to make it happen. That's just what I do. I find ways to make it happen. That's what's cool about wholesaling. If something's not working, you can pivot and move, try new things. I still do every marketing channel, but I throw more dollars at the things that work, or the things that I believe that will work. Like TV is new for us, so it's still super early. We literally just started it, so we'll see how that works. But it's really cool that I've got this follow-up specialist. Her name's Amy, and she does, already doing acquisitions and rental follow-ups, but she's going to start doing dispo follow-ups as well. And I might even have her do transaction follow-up type things, like calling on some of our older customers that we did deals with to try to get testimonies and things like that, or just following up saying, hey, how was the process for you? Maybe, just to get a testimony letter or video, things like that. So she's basically turning into a follow-up specialist for the entire company, which is awesome. So just more ways for her to make money. But at the same time, I don't want to overwhelm her, but every position can be, everything that she's following up with, can kind of just move around as things are needed heavier in different areas, if that makes sense. Because it's not like she needs to cold call all day long for our old Podio leads. And when we don't have vacancies, she don't have to do that all the time, and she can help with dispo when we have an overwhelming amount of deals. Like right now, we don't, 9 to 11 is a good number for one person to handle. But when we have 15 to 17, like we typically do, it's good to have a little help. So, I'm super excited for her. She's a super hard worker. And the best thing about her, the best thing I think in an employee is when they show initiative. They're doing things that you don't even ask them to do, like working late. The other night I noticed, but she just does extra things that you don't even ask her to do. She just does them because she knows they should be done, or that they could be done even. So that's really awesome. I'm super excited because she's like that. So because of that, she's going to get paid better. I'll probably, I don't know for sure, but I probably end up giving her a base salary, and I don't really do that in my company. It's pretty much all commission, but I'm contemplating on that for her, at least, because she's doing a lot of different things and, not making very much money yet, but she's putting the work in. So I know that she'll be worth it. That's the key. I would never give a base salary to someone that doesn't even do their normal job all the way. So, my philosophy in this business anyway is you eat what you kill. So it is what it is. And if you are a good hunter and follow-up person, you're going to make a lot of money. If you're not, you're probably not going to make it, not going to make much. And that's just the facts. It's not for everybody. But whenever I was doing, working for the corporate world, commission only is the only thing I wanted to do. Because if you're good in sales, commission is what you want. If you're not great in sales, you usually want a big base salary and a small commission. I was the opposite. Don't give me a base at all. Give me a huge commission, That's why I always made a ton of money in my even working corporate jobs. Of course, not the kind of money I make now, but still in the corporate world, making $250,000 a year is pretty good. Typically, most people push for that 6-figure mark, and I achieved that for most of my adult career, but I never could have did the 7-figure type of mark in working for somebody else, So, but that's not important. That's not everybody's goals, so that's cool. But a buddy of mine that we were pretty good friends, probably 20 years ago. But he's been asking about, he's thinking about getting into flipping. So I was actually going to just refer him to my YouTube, because he's like, yeah, him and his stepmom or whatever is going to try to get into it and start flipping houses. But man, he just wants to replace his income, and stop his corporate job. And I don't know what he makes. I'll probably ask him, not ask him, but what do you need to actually get out of that job? I was about to reply to him, so I might do it while we're on here, just to give him a heads up, and then maybe give him a link to a video that I think could help him. Because if you consume my content, you can be a wholesaler, because that's the thing. Like most people, you only need what, maybe 50 grand a year to quit your job. I don't know what the average is these days, but a few years ago it was like, I don't know, 40 grand a year household income nationwide was the average. It's probably closer to 50 or 55 maybe now, but still, like, think about how many deals we averaged. 20 grand a deal last year. I would think though that the national average for the average wholesaler at least is probably around 10 grand. So if you can do 5 deals in a year to quit your job, you don't have to work that hard to do 5 deals in a year, I promise. Because even my 2019 year, January and February, I did good, but then I stopped my business. If you know my story at all, completely stopped everything, stopped my business 100%. So the rest of that year, I did no marketing, didn't even push wholesaling at all. I was trying to build something else that I ended up not doing. But basically that whole rest of that year, from March to December, I did not do my wholesaling business. But I probably still did another 5 or 6 deals from that time period, just by accident, just by, some of the old marketing that ended up coming through, or referrals and things like that. So it's like, I didn't even try the rest of that year. I was just basically building out systems and processes to become a wholesaling company rather than a wholesaler. So that's really what I spent most of 2019 doing, even after my 6-figure month, my 5th month in February of 19. That was my 5th month. But I spent the rest of the year, building out systems and processes, because I wanted to have a wholesaling company, not just be a wholesaler, because I was basically doing everything on my own. So now we have positions to where everybody has their roles, right? So anyways, I don't even know where I was going without all that. But anyways, my buddy, I was going to tell him, I'm probably going to reply so you can kind of hear what I say if you want to. Hey bro, how much would you need to make to actually quit your job? ? Not trying to be nosy, but I could teach you a way to flip houses with no money, no credit needed, no real risk, and no real experience needed, ... You just need a little bit of hustle. And I believe that you have that, because I know you well, period. Let me know, because I can point you in the right direction, as opposed to actually going through the whole flipping process like most people know how to do, period. Well, they don't really know how to do, but they know of that, like flipping process, like most people know of. I should say that. Sounds better, because that's more true. I'm going to read it again. Hey bro, how much would you need to make to actually quit your job? Not trying to be nosy, but I could teach you a way to flip houses with no money, no credit needed, no risk, and no real experience needed. You just need a little bit of hustle, and I believe that you have that, because I know you well. Let me know, because I can, because I can put you in the right direction. Oh, I can point you is what I meant to say. See, I always talk to text because it's easier. Point you in the right direction as opposed to actually going through the whole flipping process like most people know of. Let me know if you want some guidance, period. I'm sure you will, because I've been an entrepreneur pretty much my whole life, even when I worked for the corporate world. And as soon as I left Yellow Pages, I got him a job selling Yellow Pages, actually, because he saw the kind of money I was making, because I was doing good. I went from, managing like a fitness center right out of college. I did that for like 4 or 5 years, about 5 years, I think. But I was topped out. That's why I quit, making like 35 grand a year. I'm like, I'm not making this the rest of my life. I'm going to do something better. So then I stumbled into Yellow Pages, because I was good at sales, because most of my money I made at the fitness place, it was a tanning and fitness place, was mostly commission. So I already knew I had what it took, and I was hungry. I just wanted to make like 50, when I quit my job. I quit cold turkey. My wife at the time, I'm in my second marriage now, but my wife at the time was super mad, because I quit on the spot. I'm like, it's okay, I'll figure it out, So I stumbled through a couple of months of doing some other sales that I didn't really like or enjoy, and that wasn't really fruitful for me. But then I got into Yellow Pages and made 90 grand my very first year. So anyways, he was one of my best friends at that time. So I got him into selling Yellow Pages. He made good money as well. But then after that, after 8 years or so, I quit that because I saw the writing on the wall that Yellow Pages were kind of dying. That's when I started my marketing company. And I also started like a discount card of sorts before that. And anyway, so he's always kind of, being intrigued by my entrepreneur spirit, and worked with me a couple times and tried to learn those things. And I actually got him into the magazine business because I had 5 magazines at one time. So now, he reached out to me again, about real estate. He's like, hey, are you still doing some of those seminars? Because I was doing that for a little while in 19, trying to do that other business a whole new way, which turned into a big babysitting gig, which is why I ended up basically spending most of 2019 building out my systems and processes. Anyways, he's a good friend, so just helping him out and seeing if he wants direction, and I'll point him to my videos, and specific videos, obviously, that can really help him, because he's a good friend still. We haven't been in touch, constantly lately, but when either one of us need anything, we're there for each other type of deal. So, but as I was saying, what does it really take for you to quit your job? Probably 4 to 5 deals in a year. I think you can do that pretty easily if you've got the hustle and drive in you. That's really all it takes: consistency and doing the deal. One of the sayings I came up with that I like to say is, I want to be relentlessly, consistently persistent, because that's kind of how I've lived my sales career. I'm relentless on every sales process. If I'm in a sales environment at all, I'm consistent in everything that I do. That's why I've been successful. And I'm persistent. I don't take no for an answer. You pretty much have to tell me to F off or buy from me before I leave you alone. So I'm relentlessly, consistently persistent. So that's kind of how I live my life, my sales life, at least in business. So anyways, enough rambling on. That's my vlog for the day, y'all. Hopefully you got some value out of it. You enjoyed it. Definitely, if you stuck around this long, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this content. Maybe it'll help somebody else. Because I know most of you on here are probably beginners, and you want to change your life, and why not help somebody else along the way? Because there's plenty of deals out there for everyone. Trust me. You just got to get in the game and get going. So, anyways, see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me.